Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the SCSRA Morris Customs Truck Series playoff race, final race of the round of 12. I wanted to thank you for joining us here tonight as we get ready to take on Michigan International Speedway for 100 laps. Eddie Morris currently the fastest truck out on the track. Cheeseburger Lawrence sits back in second. Blaylock, Devin Butchino, and Brian Merle Jr. are your top five here in practice. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. We see Devin Butchino at the top of the leaderboard. Jeffrey Belk sits back in second. Eddie Morris, Joe Wright, and Jacob Aldberg, your top five. Brian Merle Jr. back in sixth. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, David Wright, Austin Blaylock, Brett Merle, and Colin Williams are your top 11 as we had one driver drop out. So it is just the 11 drivers here tonight as we get ready for 100 laps. See the 43 of David Hartney making his way around the track. I apologize for that scoring tower looking all sorts of wrong. We're going to get that fixed up for you right now. Of course, most of the drivers you see on there were from the first race. So give me just a moment. We get that fixed up for you guys. And again, I do apologize for that. We will get that right back underway for you in just a moment as we have qualifying about to take off here tonight. As qualifying now getting underway. Jeffrey Belk, one of the first drivers at the end of pit road. There's Austin Blaylock. Also, Jeffrey Belk down rolling. Michigan, going to be an awesome time tonight. We'll see drivers 4, 5, 6 wide at times. This racetrack is wide enough for that. We'll see drivers using all sorts of different lines through the corners. Sister track to California, where we saw a race a few weeks ago, although not quite as bumpy. Of course, 10 minutes of qualifying, plenty of time for other drivers to get into the race. Of course, I want to thank everybody, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell if you haven't already so you know when we go live anytime here on Intensity Broadcasting for all your iRacing action. Jeffrey Belk just coming off of turn number 4, coming down to the stripe to take the green flag for his first of 2 laps. Belk making his way through turns 3 and 4 on his white flag lap here. See where he's able to put himself on his second lap. Currently sits back in second. And across the line. And Belk is going to go a little bit slower on his second lap. Runs a 40 flat. So that's going to be a little bit behind Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence's 39.94. Brian Merle Jr. just came across the line with a 40.03. See if he's able to improve on his time here. Jr. is not able to improve on his time. Also runs a 40 flat. So he's going to start just behind Jeffrey Belk. Dave Wright making his way out onto the racetrack. Coming through turns 3 and 4, coming to the stripe. Trying not to burn up those tires here on his opening lap. Going to run the high line through turns 1 and 2, trying to get the engine on that truck wound up like you would at a super speedway. Through turns 3 and 4, coming to take the white flag on his qualifying attempt. First lap is a 42.59, the slowest lap we've seen so far, but could that be the strategy, trying to keep those tires as healthy as possible as he comes off of turn number 2 and rockets down the backstretch. Through turns 3 and 4. And coming to the stripe, going to get that truck all the way down to the bottom here. Almost into the grass, across the stripe. And D-Wright's only going to be able to muster out a 40.64. That's going to keep him back in the 5th position. Devin Bucciano just jumped up into the 2nd position with a 39.95. He's going to come across the stripe this time. And just a little bit quicker on his second lap, a 39.93 ties Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, but Cheeseburger just a little bit quicker. He's going to stay out in front of Bucciano. Eddie Morris just making his way out onto the racetrack. And with about 3.5 minutes to go, see if anybody else comes into the race here tonight. Morris right down to the yellow line through turns 3 and 4. Making his way to the stripe on his first lap here. Let's see what this puts him at. He's going to jump up to P3 with a 39.94. See what he does here on his second lap. And down across the stripe. Eddie's going to go much slower on the second lap, down to a 40.07. So we see just here in qualifying how much the tires fall off in just one lap. As we have 8 drivers set here to do battle at Michigan. As always, want to thank our great partners here tonight, including our partners over at Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com for all your Intensity swag, Atlee Manuisa's race gear, as well as some of our novelty t-shirts. Check out intensitybroadcasting.com. Link is down below as well. And of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Of course, Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate and powerful and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. And of course, I do have the Gamer Plus myself. Great feature. Allows me to really feel what's going on with the car, even when just sitting here in sim, especially with the VR. It gives you that little seat of the pants feel. You can feel when the tires start to slip and brake traction. Feel when you're pushing that right front tire a little too hard. Feel the revs of the engine, every shift, every bump. So it's a neat product to have. Really gives you the immersion and can make you a little bit faster too. So check out thebuttkicker.com. So qualifying has finished, and we got trucks making their way out onto the grid. And let's take a look at our starting lineup. Rolling off on pole tonight with a 39.929. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Devin Buccino in second. You see the difference there, 0.0. Oh, I can't even see it anymore, but it's 0.008. Eddie Morris back in third, 0.01, so a hundredth separating our top three, with Austin Blaylock rolling off from the fourth position. Jeffrey Belk, our regular season champion, rolls off from fifth, with Brian Merle Jr. in the sixth position. Dave Wright rolls off seventh, David Hartney back in the eighth position, and Joe Tardif will round out the field here tonight at Michigan. So 100 laps will make the distance here tonight. As the field gets ready to get rolling here. I believe they're just waiting on the 48 of Joe Tardif to enter his truck. Stage break will be on lap number, I want to say lap number 40, but I'm going to double check right here. Lap 35 will be the stage break tonight. And watch these starts and restarts as the drivers are really able to fan out. We could see the entire field side by side going down into turn at number 1. See the field making their way down the backstretch and getting ready to do battle here at Michigan and see who can advance on to the round of 8. Of course, your playoff drivers are going to be highlighted in green up above. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence is going to lead them down to the starting zone. Pace truck makes the hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Michigan. Field already starting to fan out, running different lines through turns 1 and 2. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence going to slide up in front of Devin Butchino, take over that, keep that top spot. Here comes Eddie Morris taking a look down to the inside underneath Devin. Jeffrey Belk trying to move himself through as well, and drafting is going to be a huge part of the racing here tonight. Eddie Morris side by side, door to door with Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. Eddie Morris is going to lead the first lap here tonight at Michigan. Austin Blaylock trying to make it 3 wide, shoving it up the middle between Jeffrey Belk and Devin Butchino. He's going to fall back in line behind Belk as Morris slides up in front of Cheeseburger. And here comes Belk down on the low side with a little push from Blaylock down into turn number 3. Devin Butchino up on the high side. Jeffrey Belk down on the low side. Belk trying to get the run down into turn number 1. Almost clears Devin. Devin's going to fight back on the high side. Use a little side draft to pull that 54 machine backwards. And Butchino's going to clear Jeffrey Belk. Field makes her way through turns 3 and 4. To complete lap number 3. A little further back, we see Dave Hartley trying to work the high side of Dave Wright. Dave ran the high side all through qualifying and practice. See him running that middle lane now. Hartley's going to run all the way down to the bottom. Meanwhile, up front, Devin Butchino and Jeffrey Belk have changed positions. Now here comes a dive bomb from Austin Blaylock down to the inside of Devin Butchino, and he's going to do his little slide job here up in front of the 68. Move Austin Blaylock up into the 4th position as Joe Wright, our 10th driver, just making his way off of pit road. He is a couple laps down, but he should be able to get those back if we have a caution here. Blaylock now trying to make a move underneath Jeffrey Belk for the 3rd position. Not quite close enough to make that move stick. He tucks back in line, and Devin Butchino hangs on right there on the back bumper. A little further back, we see Dave Wright and Brian Merle Jr. side by side. Well, these 4 drivers have lost the draft a little bit, but they're trying to make some contact between Blaylock and Butchino. Fortunately, a lot of runoff room. Both drivers were able to make it back down or back onto the track without issue. A little rewind here. Oh, let's see if we can see exactly what happened here between Blaylock and Butchino. We'll take a look here from camera 2. Oh, Blaylock here got some contact from behind Butchino, sent him up into the wall. Trying to see if we can see exactly, maybe a little better view here of what happened. We'll Camera view I don't normally like to use, but we'll use the chase view here and see what happened. Is yeah, it was just a little bump draft gone wrong. Those two get up into the outside wall. They are way off the pace compared to the rest of the field. As Eddie Morris continues to lead Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. Couple of messages here on the chat. Lauren Gray says Jacob Alberg says good luck to Cheeseburger. He's sick or he would have been there. Mike Dunn says he wishes he was running. He had issues with his computer, so a couple drivers having some problems, not able to make it into the race here tonight. See Dave Hartney now looking underneath his teammate, Dave Wright. Hartney's going to pull a little slide job here. Wright's going to try to cross him over down the backstretch. This is the battle for the 4th and 5th spot. Brian Merrill Jr. right there in the mix as well, trying to get himself up into the running as we see another bump draft almost gone wrong between teammates. Meanwhile, up front, our top three are under a blanket as Eddie Morris continues to lead over Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence. Jeffrey Belk right there in the mix as well. Now Cheeseburger taking a look down to the inside to retake the lead. Jeffrey Belk down on the low side trying to give Cheeseburger a little push along. Eddie Morris, though, trying to fight back on the high side. Jeffrey Belk's John up to the high side as well to help that 8 machine along. And Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence is going to fall back into the 3rd position. Meanwhile, behind, we see Dave Hartney and Dave Wright continue to do battle. Brian Merrill Jr., Joe Tardif right there as well. Jr. looking down to the inside of Hartney, trying to take over the 5th spot. Now Junior trying to get something going here. He's going to tuck in behind Hartney. He's going to take a look down underneath Dave Wright. And Hartney's going to move himself up into the 4th position. Here comes Tardif. Right on the back bumper. Made some contact, I think, with David Wright. Maybe not. In front of that truck looks fine, so hard racing here in the middle of the pack. And we are only on lap 13 of 100. Back up front, Cheeseburger now in some trouble. He's got David Hartney up to the outside of him. Doesn't look like Cheeseburger's been up into the wall or anything. Looks like he's just falling back right now. Maybe he has been up into the wall. Oh yeah, we see the damage to the right side of that machine. He's been up into the wall heavily, and that's why he's falling backwards. This is where the incident took place. It's a replay of Eddie Morris making his way. Not sure what happened to Cheeseburger. Because right here, the right side of that truck looks pretty clean. So maybe he, yeah, I have really no idea what happened to the 47. Maybe he got a little tight here off of turn. Yep, there it is. There's the contact. Tight off of turn to number 2. Enough to brush the wall and cause some damage. Is now Jeffrey Belk trying to take the lead away from Eddie Morris. So our top 2 side by side. Belk just not able to make the pass. Eddie Morris is going to tuck back into the lead. And Dave Hartney running back in 3rd. And Dave Wright and Joe Tardif run side by side as they go around the lap truck of Devin Bucciano. Oh, Tardif gets turned. Caution is out. Able to barely, almost kept it off the wall. That's going to bring up our first wreckage rewind of the night. Now just 2 drivers trying to take up the same piece of real estate. It looked like Tardif was keeping it a little bit lower off the wall. Dave Wright came up a little higher. Neither driver knew where each other was, and sends Joe Tardif down spinning into the infield. Let's ride along here with Dave Wright. We can give you a good idea of what he saw. Just don't think he realized where Tardif was. Let's take a look from the back bumper of Tardif. Yeah, it looks like Dave Wright may have got a little tight off the corner, so didn't Tardif. Both drivers make contact. Tardif does a great job here of keeping the truck pretty clean. Doesn't look like he makes too hard of contact with that inside wall. Yeah, you barely see any damage to the front of that truck, so he's going to be able to... I don't think he's going to burn a reset here. I think he's just going to come down, get the damage fixed up. Yeah, looks like he's going to keep that reset for now as the rest of the field makes their way on and off of pit road. Eddie Morris gets off first. Jeffrey Belk off second. Dave Hartney off third. Cheeseburger staying on pit road, getting that damage fixed up. And Austin Blaylock was able to get the lucky dog to get himself back onto the lead lap. And I think Devin Bucciano was taking the wave around here to put himself back onto the lead lap. So good break for both Devin and Blaylock. They will get their damage fixed and get back out onto the racetrack, back onto the lead lap. Joe Wright, right behind the pace truck. Gonna take the wave around when the lights on the pace truck go off. He'll be able to get one of his laps back. Joe back around the pace truck. So Eddie Morris is going to choose the inside lane. We get ready to go back green flag racing. Joe Wright on pit road here. I don't know if he's just topping off or what he's doing here, but hopefully he's got enough time to get on and off of pit road. Pace truck now makes its way on the pit road as the field approaches the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here at Michigan. Jeffrey Balk trying to take over that top spot, and he will indeed take that spot over. Allison Blaylock's going to slide in second. Here comes Dave Hartney up into the third position as Eddie Morris slides back a little bit as we are about just under 15 laps from the end of the stage. Dave Hartney, Austin Blaylock side by side. Hartney's going to tuck into the third position. Jeffrey Balk out in front. He's got Austin Blaylock trying to catch up to take over that top spot. So far, not able to get to that back bumper just yet. He's going to take a look down to the inside. He's going to try to cover that top spot, but Belk is going to fire back hard on the outside. They're side by side for the lead. Now Jeffrey Belk out in front of his teammate Dave Hartney. Hartney having a great run up into the second position. Cheeseburger has pulled himself back up into fourth as Eddie Morris is continuing to fall backwards. Looks like he might have taken fuel only on that last pit stop. That's why he's sliding backwards at the moment. See Jeffrey Belk continuing to lead over his teammate Dave Hartney. Austin Blaylock continues to ride back there in the third position. As we are quickly approaching the end of the stage, Jeffrey Belk continues to be out in front as David Hartney continues to fend off Austin Blaylock for that second position. Blaylock trying to move Hartney back into the third spot. Our top three trucks are probably the closest on the racetrack to each other. The rest of the field is really spread out. So take a look here at Devin Butchino and you can see just how spread out the rest of the field is starting to get. Move right running all by himself, and then you've got your top three. Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence just kind of hanging out back there as well. See Hartney running about a half a lane up. Trying to keep nose on the air of that machine. Here at Michigan, if you are tucked right in behind the driver in front of you, it's really easy to get a little tight, get aero tight. As you see him falling back off of Jeffrey Belk just a little bit. Blaylock trying to make his way down to the 43 of David Hartney. Just 4 laps remaining in the stage. And Austin Blaylock trying to get one more playoff or one more point here in the stage. Dave Hartney not in the round of 12. He's trying to steal some points here for his teammate Jeffrey Belk. Now Jeffrey Belk starting to pull away from our top two by quite a significant margin. Just over a second separates Jeffrey Belk from David Hartney. As Austin Blaylock still trying to find his way around that 43 machine. With 2 more laps in the stage as Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence is catching up to Austin Blaylock and David Hartney, trying to see if he can steal a couple playoff points here as well, or a couple stage points, I should say. Meanwhile, Eddie Morris and Devin Bucciano, excuse me, side by side. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that one. As Devin tucks in behind Eddie Morris. Cheeseburger's almost caught Austin Blaylock as we are on the final lap of the stage. Cheeseburger's right there on the back bumper of Blaylock. Can he gain one more stage point here by getting around the 99, looking up to the high side? Off of turn number 4, Jeffrey Belk is going to get the stage win. Cheeseburger at the stripe, just not able to get around Blaylock. Dave Wright's going to come home P3. Caution is out. That is the stage caution. And the winner of the stage is the 54 of Jeffrey Belk. So a couple drivers using some strategy, taking fuel only on the pit stop. We'll see what strategy comes off of pit road this time. Jeffrey Belk picks up the pace truck off of turn number 2. And we get ready for some pit stops here at the end of the stage. Here comes the entire field down on the pit road, minus the 82 of Joe Wright, as he is still currently being scored a couple laps down. You see the entire field getting service. Who is going to win the race off of pit road? Looks like Dave Wright wins the race off pit road. Jeffrey Belk comes off second. Devin Bucciano, Eddie Morris, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Brian Merle Jr., Joe Tardif, Austin Blaylock, and Dave Hartney still on pit road. So how about that? Dave Wright using a little strategy now to get himself out into the lead. And let's talk with our winner of the stage, Jeff Belk. Jeff, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, how you doing, Josh?
Man, great run for you there, getting the stage win. Seemed like there was you, Hartney, and Blaylock were kind of the class of the field there at the end. It looked like a couple drivers took 2 tires. Did that tire degradation really play a difference there at the end of the stage?
Oh, Eddie there took 2 and we took 4, and you just saw on that initial restart just how much more speed we had out of the corner there.
It looks like your teammate Dave Wright there took 2 tires as well. Is that strategy on his part, or are you guys talking about that, or is he just trying to get himself a stage win or a win here tonight?
Right now we have no real comms with David. I'm not sure if he can hear us or if the radio's down in his truck or what.
Well, good luck the rest of the way out here, and hopefully we'll talk to you again at the end.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
So that was your winner of the stage there, Jeffrey Belk. As the lights on the pace truck are off, and we're getting ready to go green flag racing. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night as the Dev Sports Cards Xfinity Series round out their round of 12 at Homestead Miami Speedway. You're not going to want to miss that. So tune in here on Intensity Broadcasting. Atlee Atman Weiss will have the call here on Intensity. So Dave Wright will choose the inside lane, but Jeff Belk on the outside. Devin Butchno, Brian Merrill Jr. back in row number 2. Austin Blaylock and Dave Hartney, who were up at the front there earlier, back in row number 3. Eddie Morris, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence back in row 4. Joe Tardiff, Joe Wright back in row number 5. Pace truck takes the hard left-hand turn on the pit road as the field approaches the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing here at Michigan, and a good jump for Dave Wright on the start, but we'll see how well those tires hold up, as we know he only took 2 on that last pit stop. Already Belk trying to take a look down to the inside as they come down the backstretch. Side by side for the lead. Jeffrey Belk on those 4 tires, easily going to pass Dave Wright to take over that top spot. Just behind, you see Devin Butchino getting around Dave Hartney, move himself up into the 4th spot. Dave Wright under attack from the 13 of Brian Merrill Jr. up on the high side. And he's going to take over the 2nd position as here comes Devin Butchino to the inside of David Wright. Dave Hartney going to follow right through. I'm sorry, Dave Hartney going to follow right through Dave Wright here. Wright's going to fall back into the 5th position. So I don't think those 2 tires are really working out for that 84, but we'll see as the race goes on if he uses a little strategy here. Oh, now he's hard up into the outside wall. Heavy contact for the 84 of Dave Wright. Meanwhile, back up front, Brian Merrill Jr. trying to run down the 54 of Jeffrey Belk. Eddie Morris all over the back bumper of Hartney. So they go side by side down the backstretch. Down across the stripe, and Eddie Morris just barely out in front of David Hartney. great side-by-side battle. This is a battle for fourth. Both drivers being very respectful, giving each other a ton of room out on the racetrack. As Morris is able to finally clear Dave Hartney. Now he's going to set his sights on the 68 of Devin Butchino. Dives down to the inside. He's going to clear Devin, make easy work of that 68 machine. So Eddie, who took 2 tires earlier, didn't really work out for him well. Now finds himself in a position where he can push a little bit harder, as everybody else has to save their tires a little bit. Now he's trying to battle with Brian Merle Jr. for the second position. It's easy work of Junior, and he's going to set his sights on Jeffrey Belk, who's now just about a second ahead. Meanwhile, Dave Hartney under attack from Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence right behind, and Austin Blaylock right here in the mix as well. You see Hartney and Blaylock both have damage to the right side of their trucks. Takes a look down to the inside and move Cheeseburger up into the 5th position as he slides up in front of Hartney. Hartney, though, trying to cross him over a little bit here down into turn number 1, but just not quite close enough to try to make that happen. Meanwhile, back up front, Eddie Morris continues to close in Jeffrey Belk as we ride along here with Eddie. Eddie's right there now, trying to take the lead away from Jeffrey Belk. Almost gets into the side, trying to use a little side draft here to pull that 54 machine backwards and allow him to get a run, but he's going to tuck in back behind. The battle for the lead heating up. Ryan Merle Jr. not too far behind, waiting in the wings, hoping something happens here between these two drivers and put him in a position to get the win. We are just coming to the halfway point, and here comes Eddie Morris diving down to the bottom, trying to take over that top spot as they go down towards turn number 1. Morris is going to clear the 54 of Jeffrey Belk. Dave Wright down on pit road. He is down and away, getting some damage fixed on his machine. A lot of damage to the right side of that truck. Jeffrey Belk back down to the inside, trying to retake the lead away from Eddie Morris. And he indeed will take that top spot back. While those two are going back and forth, it's allowed Ryan Merle Jr. to catch right up, and he is right there. If he can make something happen here tonight. Austin Blaylock's fallen back to the 8th position. He's got Joe Wright right behind him, trying to get around Joe Tardif. Both Austin and Tardif have had issues tonight getting into an incident. Joe Wright had some issues getting on tonight, had some technical issues. That's why he's being scored 3 laps down. Look at that, Brian Merle is here. He's taking a look down to the inside of Eddie Morris. Got tucked back in line, and Kevin Butchino is not too far behind as well. Junior back down to the inside. We got a 3-wide battle for the lead. Brian Merle Jr. down on the bottom. Jeffrey Belk in the middle. Eddie Morris on the high side. 3 wide at the stripe. Down into turn number 1. Back to 2 wide as Brian Merle Jr. was not able to hold it down on the bottom. Now Eddie Morris trying to use that high lane to make something happen. And Devin Butchino's right back in the mix here as well. Eddie protecting the low lane. Brian Merle Jr. works to the high side of Jeffrey Belk. Three trucks lined up on the high side. 2 Neon Drivers. 1 Cheeseless Cracker Racing. And there's Jeffrey Belk sneaking up in front of Devin Butchino. These two have been going at it all season long for the season championship, Butchino and Belk. Now they find each other on the racetrack. And I know Butch is sick of seeing the back end of that 54 machine. As Brian Merle Jr. dives down into turn number 3 and trying to take the race lead away from Eddie Morris off of turn 4. Here comes Belk with a run up on the high side as well. Great racing up at the front. While Junior Belk run side by side, allowing Eddie Morris a little bit of breathing room. How about that? Not too far behind. We see Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence rolling in for the picture here as well. Now our top 4 get back single file. Belk still running a little bit lower line through turns 1 and 2. So far everybody pretty content just running in line as we see the rest of the field behind. See Cheeseburger here trying to run down Brian Merle. Lap times have been pretty consistent between these two drivers. Take a look at the delta here, and yeah, Cheeseburger gets a little bit of that time back, and then he loses a little bit here. You can see right now the ticker going in the wrong direction. But he's been trying to keep it within a second, Brian Merle Jr., and that's what he's been doing. As a caution is out on the track. It's for Joe Tardif. It's going to bring up another wreckage rewind as we take a look to see what happened to the 48 machine. Looks like he was racing with David Hartney. Oh, Hartney may have just misjudged coming off of turn number 2. Got a little loose, and then, yeah. Oh, that looks like netcode. Yeah, I can't really fault either driver on that one. That was just a bit of netcode there. Cardiff goes sliding back down the infield. Again, light kiss to the inside wall. Looks like he still has his reset, though, so he should be able to get down on the pit road, get that thing fixed up. Now, who's going to come down pit road and take 4 tires? That's going to be the question. The entire field makes their way down onto pit road. Led by Eddie Morris. Let's see who wins this race off of pit road. Cheeseburger gets off pit road first. Eddie Morris, Jeff Bell, Brian Merle Jr., Dave Hartney, Devin Butchino, Austin Blaylock. And then Joe Tardif gets off pit road last. Let's take a look at Tardif's truck, see if he's got that. Yeah, it looks like he was able to use his reset. Has a brand new truck. He's going to be right back into the running. How about that? Cheeseburger on and off of pit road first. 11.45 second stop. Can't tell if he took 4 tires or not there, but we'll have to see how this one plays out here. When they cross the line this time, we're going to have just 40 laps to go. So here we go. Lights on the pace truck are off. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. As the field gets re-racked, restacked, lights are off on the pace truck, getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Get back green flag racing for 40 laps here at Michigan. Cheesy B is going to lead him down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag's back in the air. We are back racing. Down towards turn number 1. Looks like Cheeseburger may have missed a shift there, because here comes Belk and Morris up on the high side. Just was not able to get the power down like the front two have. Now here comes Brian Merle Jr. up to the high side, trying to take over that third spot. I was wondering if Cheeseburger took 2 tires. From the looks of it, yes, he did. We saw that not work out for Eddie Morris or Dave Wright. Now it's not working out for the 47 of Michael Lawrence. He tries to tuck in behind Devin Butchno, using a little draft here to keep him in the hunt. Here comes Joe Tardif up to the high side. He's going to pass the 47 as well. So move Tardif up into the 5th spot after that most recent incident. He's right there on the back bumper of Devin Butchno, trying to take over the 4th spot. Back up front, Eddie Morris leads over Jeffrey Belk and Brian Merle Jr. Devin Butchno sits back in 4th, Joe Tardif in 5th. Morris has a mirror full of the 54 of Jeffrey Belk, as Belk's going to take a look down to the inside. Not quite close enough to make anything happen. Going to try it again now down into turn number 1. Sorry, turn number 3, excuse me. And down the front stretch, Belk and Morris side by side yet again at the stripe. Belk trying to keep Eddie Morris at bay as he's down on the low side. Eddie Morris using that high lane momentum to keep Jeffrey Belk out there. Here comes Brian Merle Jr. into the mix now as well. Morris continue to run side by side. Here goes Brian Merle Jr. trying to push Eddie Morris forward. Not quite close enough to really help him out here. These two continue to run side by side, pretty even. Neither driver really able to get any momentum going either on the high side or down on the low side. Both drivers right there really annoying each other in a sense because they can't really get anything going high or low. Now Belk's going to tuck back in line behind Eddie Morris. That's going to allow Brian Merle Jr. right there on the back bumper. And Devin Butchno as well. Devin just kind of biding his time right now. I haven't really said much about him. He's just been running back in the 4th position. And he's trying to save his tires for the end here. I think he's watching the front 2 just kind of go at it right now. And he's on the horn with Brian Merle Jr. just saying, hey, listen, just save those tires till the end and we got these two. Because the more that Eddie Morris and Jeff Belk run side by side, the more they're going to burn their tires right off. And as I say that, Brian Merle Jr. dives down to the inside underneath Jeffrey Belk. So he's trying to get second position away, but not going to happen by himself. Got tucked back in line. And next time by, we'll have just 30 laps to go. Again, Brian Merrill Jr. right there on the back bumper of Jeffrey Belk. Trying to force an error as now he's going to really dive it down hard. Down into turns 1 and 2. Again, just not able to get the power down there. The way that the banking is set up here at Michigan, you really scrub a lot of speed off down on the bottom. You can really wear out that right front tire trying to make a move down there. Now Junior's got some help from his teammate, Devin Butchino, trying to move himself up towards the front here. Top 5 now nose to tail as Joe Tardif is right here in the mix trying to make something happen as well. Now Jeffrey Belk right there on the back bumper of Eddie Morris. Brian Merrill Jr. trying to get a run on the outside of Belk. Belk was able to pick up the throttle just a little bit earlier, use that draft, get right back to the back bumper of Eddie Morris. And Morris is able to drive it in just a little bit deeper with that clean air on his nose. This clean air makes a huge difference for these drivers here. Next time by, we'll have just 25 laps to go. So when does Belk make his move? That's going to be the question. We've seen so far just how hard it is to make a pass. Cheeseburger Lawrence is down on pit road. Looks like that two-tire stop did not work out in his favor as now he's gone a lap down. Belk continues to stay right there on the back bumper. Top 5 now single file, nose to tail, across the stripe with just 23 laps to go. Could we see an upset tonight? Could we see Joe Tardif get the win here tonight? Saw Tardif get the win at Daytona. Here comes Belk down to the inside, making the move with 23 laps to go. He's got no help from behind, though. But he gets the pass done as he moves himself up to the point ahead of Eddie Morris. Morris now looking down to the inside, trying to retake that position. Morris back down to the bottom. And Morris coming down pit road. So Morris not able to make it on fuel either, which tells me that the rest of the field is going to have to come down pit road. Now Devin Butchno and Brian Merle Jr. down on pit road, leaving just Jeffrey Belk and Joe Tardif out on track. Now we know Joe Tardif did win at Atlanta, so he does have one career SCSRA win. As we see Eddie Morris right out in front of Jeffrey Belk. Morris did take 4 tires and fuel, so when's Jeffrey Belk going to come down and make his final pit stop? Devin Butchino and Brian Merle Jr. again passed, coming off of pit road. With 19 laps to go. Belk and Tardif both pass pit road yet again. Oh no, Tardif makes his way down onto pit road. So the only driver left to pit now is the 54 of Belk. Belk was last on pit road on lap 59. We know he's good at saving fuel, but I don't think he's going to be able to save that much fuel, as both Devin and Butchino go right on by. We have 18 laps to go. See Tardif now off of pit road, leaving just one driver on the lead lap. I take that back. There are 4 drivers on the lead lap as Morris, Butchno, and Merle are still out there. Here comes Tardif to get his lap back, putting 5 drivers on the lead lap. I don't know if Belk is trying to hold off for a caution or what he's planning on doing here, but with coming to 15 laps to go, I don't think there's any way that he is going to be able to make it to the end on fuel. Right along with Belk. Big long lift, softly back onto the throttle, trying to save as much fuel as he can, trying to steal another fuel mileage race here in the SCSRA. And riding in second place behind Morris, he could have just been sitting there running 3/4 throttle, trying to save as much fuel as he could. And now Eddie Morris in second place. He's currently 31 seconds behind Jeffrey Belk, but he's running significantly faster, about 1.5 seconds a lap faster. As here comes Jeffrey Belk now down on the pit road. We knew he wasn't going to be able to stay out there and make it to the end, as Eddie Morris now comes off of turn number 2. And Jeffrey Belk still making his way down to his pit stall. Is it going to be a gas and go for the 54? That's what it looks like. Just enough fuel to make it to the end. He is down and away. And Eddie Morris has just gone by to retake the lead. There goes Devin Butchino. Brian Merle Jr., Joe Tardif, right on by. Putting Belk back into the 5th position. So now Eddie Morris has almost a 5-second lead over second place Devin Butchino. Now Morris all by himself out in front, has clean air, has no drafting partner. Back here we have these 3 trucks lined up nose to tail, and we know that drafting is quicker than running by yourself. And that time by, Devin Butchino ran the same time as Eddie Morris. So Morris now in the catbird seat, 5 seconds ahead of Devin Butchino. All Eddie's hoping for now is the green flag to stay out till the white flag flies. Merle Jr. still right there on the back bumper of Devin Butchino. These 3 run nose to tail, but not able to gain any time on Eddie Morris. As we are coming this time to 10 laps to go. Eddie Morris with 9 laps to go, way out in front. Trying to get his win here that will punch his ticket to the round of 8. Eddie Morris just trying to log laps now on cruise control. Has a 5.5 second lead over Joe Tardif, who's now moved into the 2nd position. Let's see what happened to Devin Butchino and Joe Tardif here. Tardif up on the high side. Using those 4 tires to his advantage, getting around Brian Merle Jr. He's going to cross over Butchino here. He's going to move into the 2nd position. Look at that, Joe Tardif now gapping Devin Butchino and Brian Merle Jr. now here as well. Just 6 laps to go for Eddie Morris. Just 5 laps to go. Eddie Morris trying to get his 2nd win of the season. Joe Tardif, though, running down Morris. Currently 4 seconds behind. And he's running almost a half a second quicker than Eddie Morris. So I don't know if he'll have enough time to run down the 8, but he's also seeking his 2nd win of the season. Devin Butchino, Brian Merle Jr. sitting back 3rd and 4th. As we have just 4 laps to go. Junior trying to get around Butchino, trying to get onto the podium here tonight. Looking up to the high side, trying to use that momentum, maybe cross over his teammate here down the backstretch, but they continue to run nose to tail. As Eddie comes off of turns 3 and 4. Coming to 3 laps to go. Junior still looking for a way around his teammate, Devin Butchino, trying to get himself up onto the podium. Just not able to make that happen as Eddie Morris makes his way through turns 3 and 4, coming to 2 laps to go. hard-fought battle here between Devin Butchino and Brian Merle Jr. for the final podium spot as they're watching Joe Tardif just drive away. Meanwhile, up front, Eddie Morris comes and takes the white flag. 1 lap to go. Just 2 more sets of corners for Eddie Morris. So he makes his way back to the stripe, and Eddie Morris is going to get his 2nd victory of the season, locking him into the round of 8. Joe Tardif comes home in second, and Devin Butchino holds off his teammate Brian Merle Jr. for 3rd. Junior comes home 4th. Jeffrey Belk crosses the line in 5th. But Eddie Morris getting the win here tonight. When at the beginning of the race, we didn't know what happened to his truck as he fell off. As Eddie Morris is going to come down and celebrate his win here at the start-finish line. As our top 3 make their way to the start-finish line for a picture. And we take a look at your results here. Again, Eddie Morris gets the win. Joe Tardif comes in 2nd. Devin Butchino 3rd. Brian Merle Jr., Jeffrey Belk, Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence, Austin Blaylock, Dave Wright, Dave Hartney, and Joseph Wright round out the field as Eddie Morris burns it down on the front stretch here at Michigan. And we get ready to talk to our top 3 drivers. Eddie Morris is going to go. I thought he was going to go park it in Victory Lane. This is one of the few tracks in iRacing where you can actually drive it right on over to Victory Lane. He's just going to keep celebrating his victory here. So we get ready to talk to our top 3. Starting with our 3rd place finisher, Devin Butchino. Just want to get our camera set up here. So I know how much you guys like the camera views here for the interviews. Starting with our 3rd place finisher, Devin Butchino. Devin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Josh.
Man, hard battle for you. Had some issues early in the race. Got behind, caught the cautions to get yourself back up in contention, bringing home P3. Had a hard battle there with your teammate and Joe Tardif showing some speed there at the end as well. Was there anything you think you could have done differently in order to get you in a position here to have challenge Eddie Morris?
I mean, we just got some ill-timed cautions. We didn't, as a team, we didn't take any sets there in the first stage, so we took our first set at the stage caution, and then we were going to pit on 60, split it up into 2 stops. We were going to pit on 60, and we got a caution at 58, whatever it was, and then kind of just screwed things up because then Eddie was able to pit a lap for us and just couldn't make it up, and we were going to try and stay the 3 of us in line. Or I thought we were going to stay the 3 of us in line to try and get towards Eddie, and that wasn't the case. Congrats to Eddie. He was bad fast, but I just don't think that I had the speed that Eddie did. I don't really know. We never got a shot in clean air, but I just missed a little bit today.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that the 3 of you lined up weren't able to really gain any ground on Eddie there. Did you think about doing anything differently, or were you just trying to stay lined up and it just wasn't working out in your favor?
Yeah, we were running the top, and we saw him running the bottom, and I know the bottom chews up the tires here, so we figured, in 20 laps, at some point he's going to plateau and start falling back, but never really happened. So one lap made the difference. It's unfortunate. I would have loved it to go green at the end, and we actually got cautions, which we're not used to, so I think it just threw a big wrench into things. But yeah, no, Eddie was class of the field tonight.
Well, again, awesome job, P3 here tonight. Moves on to the round of 8 here. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, well, thank you, Josh. Thank you for spending your time doing this here Tuesday nights for us. Everyone at Intensity, we really appreciate them. I just want to thank Morris Customs, even though he beat me tonight. He did this awesome paint. If you need any custom paints for iRacing, hit up Eddie. He does a phenomenal job. Def Sports Cards, New Craft Fine Jewelry and Design, Level Up Subs, and McKinleyville Barbershop. So I appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight, and good luck tomorrow night at Homestead.
You as well, Josh. Thank you.
So that was your third place finisher, Devin Butch. Now let's bring in your second place finisher, Joe Tardif. Joe, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I do.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Got caught up in a couple wrecks early, made your way back up to the front. Looked like the first one was just a little misjudgment on both of you. The second one looked like a bit of netcode. I don't know if you had a chance to look back at those yet, but it doesn't really matter because if you found yourself on the podium here tonight, did that, it sounds silly to say, but did those incidents kind of help you out here, getting you in a position where you were on the same cycle as everybody else?
Not too much. It still put me behind because I was having to start each restart between 8th and 9th and trying to get through the field to even have a shot at Eddie at the end. So that kind of put me behind the 8 ball every single time.
Yeah, we saw you running nose to tail with Devin and Brian trying to chase down Eddie in the draft. And then you decided just to go right around because you had the speed and you were starting to catch Eddie a little bit. Do you think you should have made that move quite a bit earlier, or did you think that running in line was kind of the right way to go?
Well, I caught Devin and Brian and thinking we were going to be able to run them down, and we just were going 6 or 7 laps, and we were just kind of staying stagnant, losing a little bit of time. So I figured, hey, I don't know. I think my truck's faster. I was going to dip out. Just ran out of time. Got within, I think, 3.7, but that's about as close as I could get. His tires were starting to fade that last 7, 8, or 9 laps. I was starting to reel them in a little bit, but not enough time.
Well, again, great job here tonight. Got a win a couple weeks ago. Come in second place tonight, showing that you got the speed. Congrats on that. And before I let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Shout out to Neon Racing. Shout out to my sponsors, the Ocala Design Group, Exotic Mobile Marketing, Dev Sports Cards, everybody involved with Neon Racing, and of course my buddies at JDJ Motorsports, Josh and Dom Previtt, and Brandon Ward. Been racing with them dudes for a while, so it's good to put our trucks in the top 3.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight, and good luck next week when we take on, I believe it's Talladega next week.
Thank you.
Have a great night. So that was your second place finisher, Joe Tardif. Now let's bring in your winner here tonight, the driver of the 8 Morris Customs machine, Eddie Morris. Eddie, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, what a wild night for you. You had kind of went to the front, started up front, fell to the back, took 2 tires, didn't really work out for you. Showed speed towards the end there, got yourself back up to the front. Just a wild race for you. Talk about the strategy and what changed throughout the race to get you back up to the front.
All right, so the strategy part, stage was on lap 35, right? So I knew if I could come in, I tested with it a little bit before the race and did some laps and stuff like that. So I knew exactly how many laps I could go and when I had to come in and how many I could go after with however much gas I put in it. And that was the plan until that caution come out. And then I was like, I'm just going to fill it up. That way I'm not guessing. So that kind of messed it up a little bit there. But I still didn't take tires because I was wanting the extra set, later on in the race. So that's the way I went. And I fell back. I think Dev actually got me at the stage there for 6th. I think I finished 7th. But I mean, it wasn't a horrible call to not have tires there, and I was able to get them on that last stop. So, and yeah, man, after that, I was just driving the absolute piss out of it, and I was hoping it was going to stick. And I looked down, I think it was on lap 93, coming out of two. I almost smacked the wall there. I was driving the piss out of it so much, and I had to back her down a little bit. I was like, I don't know, man. We're just gonna bring this thing home now, you know. Finally put one together and complete the race. So it was fun. So yeah, that last 7 laps, man, I figured I'd just change up my line and just watch the relative and make sure he didn't get lower than 3 seconds on me. So I was ready for it if he did.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, it seemed like something we don't normally have in the SCSRA. We had a lot of cautions here tonight. And coming to that last run, you got yourself a huge lead out in front. Was that in the back of your mind thinking maybe a caution might come out here and wreck your race?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If anybody tells you no, they're lying to you, Josh. They're lying to you. It's always in the back of your head. Like I just knew, you know, there was going to be a caution there, and when it didn't happen, man, I was like, holy crap! Like I still can't believe it. But yeah, that was another thing, man. I was like, you know, I'm committed to this strategy, and I figured, you know, if those guys did take tires on the stage caution, I figured they might not have an extra set like I did. So it may have still been okay on my end as far as having fresher tires. So, but I don't know exactly who all didn't and did take tires. So, but yeah, that definitely helped me, man, for sure. But I was definitely worried about that caution coming for sure, for sure.
Well, again, great job here tonight, getting the win. Awesome showing here for the Morris Customs machine. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give?
Man, just shout out to Intensity Broadcasting, you know, the best broadcasters in the business. Shout out to Dev Sports Cards. If you're in the market for any special memorabilia cards, I'm not sure if he does jerseys or anything like that, but I'm sure he's got it if you can collect it. Check him out on eBay at Dev Sports Cards, and definitely go to him if you're needing any of that sort of stuff for gifts, or you know, we got some kind of holiday coming up, don't we? If not, we'll make one so people go to buy some cards from him.
Yeah, we have Mother's Day coming up.
There you go.
And then
you
Father's
know.
Day in June. So yeah.
See, you know, perfect, man. Hit Dev Sports Card up on eBay and get you some sports memorabilia and yeah, man. Morris Customs for this sweet paint that I rock every week. Man, everybody allows me to do this. Blaylock wants me to shout him out. He's an awesome teammate. Those are his words. No, I'm just playing. He's an awesome teammate. Shout out to Joe Wright, man. He was honest to God my pick to win this race tonight. Joe always runs good at Michigan, and he was having some issues with his Oculus, and poor guy had to use the monitor this time. So kind of feel for him. But like I said, he was definitely my pick to win this race. There towards the end, man, it did kind of feel like a Jeffrey Bilk type of thing. And when he wasn't pitting, that kind of had me nervous, to be honest with you. I didn't know if he had that fuel.exe going on or what. But man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, it's crazy. Nudie, he's a teammate.
But is he?
You know, when he's here, he is, yeah. Nah, he's got a lot going on right now. So shout out to him also. And yeah, man, hopefully we can get some more regulars back in this league and run regularly and get some bigger fields. And we'll work on that this off season and put on a show for you guys. Get a bunch of guys up in here.
For sure, man. Well, again, congrats on the win. And I'll look forward to seeing what you do next week at the I believe we're at Talladega next week, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So the Fried Piper will be hopefully leading the pack there next week.
That one's definitely circled on the calendar.
Well, have yourself a great night, Eddie.
You too, brother.
So there you go, your winner here tonight, the 8 of Eddie Morris. Of course, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, we do appreciate you tuning in and joining us here for the Morris Customs Truck Series, part of the SCSRA here on iRacing. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night as the Dev Sports Cars Xfinity Series will be taking on Homestead Miami Speedway for their final race of the round of 12. So you're going to want to tune in for that one. And of course, as always, check that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. For everybody here at Intensive Broadcast, we want to thank you once again for tuning in. As our boy Atman Weiss would say, over and out.